Recently read an article. It was about a gentleman who was having a difficult time getting over his ex-wife. He was angry. And so what he did at work was he had this password that he had to reset once a month. And he changed his password to the words forgive her and basically spelled it Forgive, H, the number 3, and R. And he did that, and over the course of the month, it worked. He actually forgave his ex-wife for everything she had done to him. And then once he realized that, he said, this is really powerful. And he started to use it as a way for himself to have daily affirmations for the goals that he was working towards. And that started to work for him. So the key here is this, is every one of us has somebody that we're holding a grudge against. Even if it's just a small one, there's probably somebody out there that you're harboring some type of grudge against. Maybe it's a boss, a coworker, an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, even a friend. But we all have those people out there. And I think the reality of it is when you forgive them, it actually does more for you than it does for those that you forgive. And let me say that one more time. Forgiving does more for you than it does for the person that you're actually forgiving. And there are a lot of studies around this concept. Two of these studies were done at Harvard, where they looked at forgiveness. And what they found is forgiveness dramatically reduced stress that people were experiencing. And when they dug a little deeper, they realized that when you do hold a grudge, several things happen to you. Your muscles tense up, your blood pressure goes up. It's much like that flight or flight response you get from stress itself, because it is a form of stress at the end of the day. And that forgiveness alleviates that and it heals your heart. And that's what we're trying to get to. There was another study done at the Journal of Behavioral Medicine that forgave offenders, right? And what they realized is if you forgive offenders, your stress drops almost immediately. Again, same study, just goes along with the first one. University of Wisconsin did a study and suggested that people that harbor ill will towards others have a much higher probability of heart disease. Okay, again, forgiving releases all that. So if you want to be healthier, forgive people. There was even a study done in the UK at the University of Sheffield. It was an MRI study that really studied the frontal lobe. And what they found is the frontal lobe of the brain, which is where reasoning, problem solving, and complex thought takes place. Okay, when you forgive, you get more activity out of your frontal lobe, which is very, very positive. So all these things are wonderful. So the question is what is it? Why not do it? And, a lot of people think, well, I have to be this selfless person to forgive. Well, the reality of it is, forgiving is more of a selfish act than it is a selfless act. And because you are responsible for your own well-being. Okay, and why sit there and harbor these things? Why not simply forgive that person that brought that hurt to you? And so for this week, what I'd like to really think about is just who is it that you're harboring resentment towards right now? And forgive them. Let it go. And write a letter to them. And here's the reality. You don't even have to send the letter. It's just something very therapeutic about putting it down on paper. And write that letter down. Once you're done with the letter, if you choose to send it, go for it. But if not, maybe you burn it with a match or rip it up. But either way, it'll make you feel much, much better. And if the letter is not your thing, try the idea around the computer password. Use that computer password to try to simply open yourself up and forgive people that you've had a difficult time with in the past. And of course, going forward, why not use it towards your daily affirmations, towards reaching where you want to go in life? Because at the end of the day, life is short. Just let go and enjoy. And the easiest way to do that is simply to forgive. If you know someone that could benefit from this message, as always, I simply ask that you pass it along. And in the meantime, just have a great, great week.